Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your harsh truth reading for the month of October. This is a general reading. It may or may not resonate. Check your moon, rising, and Venus signs for a more well-rounded picture of your situation. Typically I read this with the intention of romantic love, however it may resonate otherwise. I do clarify where it makes sense to do so. So it goes from general to specific. So if it starts to resonate and then it doesn't, take what resonates, leave the rest. Two of Cups reversed, suggesting a breakup or a some kind of imbalance in the relationship. Perhaps you're not communicating or talking, or there's been a breakdown in the area of love. There's an imbalance. All right, preliminary general reading. Okay. I think, all right, this is you still wanting to fight for the relationship. You're kind of guarded, but you're still showing up, okay? You want them to also still want to be in and fight for the relationship. You still want that. You might be the wounded warrior, but you still would like, it's very specific for you. You still want it to be about you and this person working it out. You don't want to walk away. You don't want them to walk away. However, that's a bad decision. It's a bad call. This is not about, it could be that someone in the relationship is not willing to take a look at things the way they are and see them for what they are. Someone might be just not acknowledging the truth about the relationship to the detriment of, obviously, the two of you. It could be that it's just as simple as a bad decision, but it feels like on the one hand, you've got someone that won't acknowledge their culpability. On the other hand, you've got the other person that won't acknowledge that this just isn't going to work. Well, you want to win. You want to win. But okay, so you want to win. You want to work this out, and you want them to really understand your point of view. This is like just fighting. You're feeling like you have to fight for your voice and just to be heard and acknowledged, and your point of view to be respected. And you don't want to not be committed with this person anymore. You don't want to not be safe. You don't want to be set free. I think there's a lot of stability found with this relationship. Even though it's probably not the best for you, there's still a sense of at least belonging. And for some of you, it might be that you need to work on something, and that's your relationship. For others, it's like, okay, if I don't have this to distract me, then I'm going to go ham, with work, or I'm just going to find something else to keep me. Either way, something else to keep me busy. Either way, it's not very stable. There's just a real imbalance there. It's throwing yourself into something else then to keep you distracted from the emotions of a situation. And this could very possibly be, on the one hand, it could be hateful communication. It could just be stopping any kind of, like, everything's just shut down. Passion is shut down. Any kind of moving forward or progress with this person is just completely shut down. So we're looking at this. We're looking at a breakup here. Okay, let's clarify. All right, so what's this judgment about? What's this judgment? Why is that true? Okay. Well, first of all, you need to take some time, go to your separate corners and regroup. And you need to, this suggests that there's not a lot of thought in what you or the other person does. Somebody could be impulsive here, and instead of dealing with something, there's just, well, let's just, it's like things are kept up in the air in an effort to not have to deal with what's really at hand. And this kind of would say, this echoes that in the sense that stop and simmer down. And so you can look at things realistically, let things come up to the top, and just, I know it sounds really hokey, but this is really a card about not relaxation, but just going away to get your mind right about something. And it's about sitting and listening and going still and letting things bubble up, as it were. Going passive on a situation. Okay, that just flew out. Because you're heartbroken. Okay. I think also you're heartbroken, but I think in going away and taking the time to really look at that, you're going to realize just how. And the thing about Three of Swords is that it's not a surprise, not like the Ten of Wands, or even it's Ten of Swords, excuse me, or even the Tower. This, you kind of know it's coming. Okay, so here we have the heartbreak happens, and then afterwards you go and take your rest and recuperate and get yourself together mentally, right? This, in this case, it's about, all right, don't do anything. Don't go to your separate corners. Take the time that you need, because you really need to realize what this has done to you. What you're going through. You really need to pay attention to that. Don't do this. Don't go run off and start a new project or just involve yourself in something else. You really need to sit with the emotions and let this process. All right, let's see what this Five of Swords about. Oh. Yeah. You want somebody to fight for you. That's what it is. You want them, you want this person to choose you. And for there to be this reconciliation worth celebrating and this communal joining together, you know, and this right here, this is about that initial passion and that charisma and that crazy sort of running away with your emotions type feeling, you know, that it's kind of a high, you know, and feeling like just very communal and like you're on the same page and there's something to celebrate and we found each other and that's what you want to happen. Let's clarify this over here. All right, Queen of Pentacles reversed. What's going on there? I think in an effort to lock down your emotions and to try to not feel like, you know, it's on the one hand, it's almost like you want somebody to fight for you with wild abandon over here, but then at the same time, okay, now that the drama and the trauma has happened, and you're quite distraught over this, okay, you want to lock it down and just, okay, fine, what do I have to do? And then there's this delving into another project. It could also be that there's an end to the drama and for you, and you're like, okay, if that's what it takes, I'm just going to completely shut down. And this is the Miser card, right? So we've got an end to the torment, the mental torment, but I'm also not doing anything either. I'm not getting back out there. I'm not even being social. I'm kind of just shut down and completely holed up in my house or wherever I live, and I'm not doing anything other than working. No social life, no social media, no anything. Okay, so it could be that. It could also be that you're pretty tormented. It's even worse than this. This is, you know, insomnia and just feeling hopeless and a lot of depression and just, this is a really on your mind constantly. And in an effort just to keep one foot in front of the other, all you're doing is just working, and you don't want to feel anything. You just want to lock it all down. I'm sorry, Sag. I'm going to clarify this one here. Yep, we're left with just disappointment at what could have been and no communication. We got 2 pages reversed. Let me look at that. Where are you? There you are. 2 pages reversed. Okay, it says society. These probably are archaic meanings. Society. Yeah, okay. Hold on a second. I just wanted 2 advice cards here, just for giggles. I mean, not giggles, but I feel like some of you, the Sagittarius that I'm reading for, some of you are really struggling with this. You know, we got the heartache, we got the mental torment, disappointment, walking away. This is pretty clear. This is pretty clear. 2 advice cards for Sagittarius. Find somebody to talk to that you can trust that will help you see your way out of this. That will help you not just feel so trapped by your thoughts, okay? You need to find somebody that you trust, whether it's father figure, spiritual advisor, clergy, best friend, brother, cousin, sister, somebody that you trust that can help you restore order to your life instead of feeling kind of off kilter there, and help you see your way out of it, okay? Help you move past the resentment. All right, pull a couple oracle cards here. I sit here and shuffle away and I forget how close it is to the mic. Sorry if I've blown your ears out. Hopefully you can still hear this. Being a little avant-garde. Honesty is essential. To be a loving person, it is important that we speak truthfully and in a loving manner. Perhaps that was missing in this relationship. I feel like there's been a lot of mental torment for you, and this right here too is this is about hateful communication. So I feel like maybe you weren't treated. You got the raw end of the stick. You weren't treated very kindly. It could be though with these 2 right here. It could be that you are the one that maybe would kind of fly off the handle and say things, you know, in a hurtful or aggressive manner. But I think this is more about you wanting someone to fight for you. Okay. That picture says quite a bit, doesn't it? This is about listen to your gut and pay attention to the red flags. Okay, and you might have been plowing through them before, and I think that might be what this is about here, is wanting to, it would be a bad decision, and you need to take the time out and let that resonate and feel the pain and process it and work through it, rather than trying to, you know, just let's still fight about this. Let's still fight about this. It's like it's not, there's plenty of red flags for you to see there. It's just, it's not, you're dealing with somebody, or the situation is such at this time that no good thing, nothing good can come from communicating at this point. It's probably escalated. And I know it's driving you nuts, and there's disappointment, and it's almost like, okay, just one foot in front of the other, but it's time apart is what's best now. My goodness, what are we doing here? There it is. Rising above, clarity, can you see that? Freedom and solution. I think that, coming full circle, I think that's resonating what this is. Find you someone you can talk to help you see your way out of this and get some clarity. You know, take that retreat, that time out right here, okay? And process those emotions and get clear on it, all right? Okay, all right, Sagittarius. I think this, just to reiterate, I think this is really important. I think you're at the crossroads. I think you're, it's just, you're cycling. It's like you come up to this point and then you keep cycling, and you probably just need a sounding board and somebody trustworthy to take you to that final period of closure so that you can rise above, because it won't be long. And I know it's painful, but it won't be long. It seems like a lot right now. This oftentimes is talking about things that are bigger than they really are. And right now it's like right in front of you, but with time, you'll get the clarity, and with being able to offload it to somebody, that's going to be key for you, okay? So find you someone that you can talk to, that keeps just saying over and over, talk to someone about this, talk to someone about this, okay? Okay. All right, so that is what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope it was helpful, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care.